what's up you guys, Stoutmeister here, and today we're going to be talking about Jehovah's Witnesses once again, and how the Watchtower Society affects vulnerable people, both young and old. Now, I came across this article on the Facebook page, Religion Poisons Everything, and I'm going to leave a link for that Facebook page in the description down below. And in this article, displays a letter that a mother wrote to her son. Basically, this boy wanted no further part in the Watchtower Society / Jehovah's Witnesses, let alone being a part of any religion at all. And this hurts the poor mother's heart oh so bad that she decided to write a letter to her son and say some pretty disturbing things that will scar the boy for the rest of his life. Because you should never ever fucking disown your children solely based on their different lifestyle choices, especially if it's a religious choice. And this article is a little over a year old, but I don't care about the age of the article. I don't care about the age of the letter. This is a timeless type of thing that is such a great example about what goes on in today's households around the world, in the households of extremist religious nut jobs, extremist political nut jobs, so on and so forth, in which these type of parents don't know jack shit on how to love their children in a true manner. Now, let's dissect this letter now, shall we? My darling son David, you have a lot of nerve saying my darling son David in a letter where you're disowning him for being an atheist. You are so very special to me and have always been the love of my life. I used to think when you were little that I would die for you, and I would live because of you. You meant the world to me, and I will always love you very much. I'm gonna call bullshit on that, by the way. Because of this love, I always wanted you to have the happiest, safest life I could provide, and tried to bring you up with the strongly held beliefs I lived by, in the hope that this would affect your own life for the good, and ultimately, you would live forever in paradise on earth. You know all this to be the case. As long as you go by my beliefs, then I want you to be happy, and I will be happy with my association with you. But if you don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness, then act like we never knew each other, because Jesus in the Bible said that if you deny me, then I'm going to deny you before my Father, aka God, at the kingdom of heaven. But then again, we aren't going to go by that part of the Bible where we can't wear polyester or eat bacon, or other parts of the Bible that we don't feel like going by, but we'll go by other portions of the Bible like bashing gays, or disassociating ourselves from other family members for the simple fact that they aren't of our beliefs. Fucking walking contradictions. I personally have always believed in the truth as presented in the Bible, and have always felt the strong presence of Jehovah God and Jesus in my life, even as a child. You probably didn't believe that. You were probably brainwashed in believing that by your sick, twisted, mind-fucked parents. I have always believed the prophecies in the Bible, and that there will be paradise on earth in which everyone will live in peace and love with no war, sickness, and death, and that the dead will be resurrected due to Jehovah's justice and fairness. I'm gonna call bullshit on that as well, because there is no such thing as true peace. True peace will never exist as long as humans exist. And if a religion tells you that they are of peace, more than likely, they're referring to if you are a part of our church, our cult, our religion, then we will be peaceful with you. But if everybody is different, if there is diversity on this planet, then there can be no peace. There is endless war. There is just endless corruption. That is the view that a lot of these religious institutions put out. And as far as that quote you said in that letter, if you truly believe that everyone will be at peace and everyone will be in paradise, then why the fuck are you writing this letter to your son and disowning him for being an atheist? If God oh so loves everybody and wants everybody to be on this new planet Earth, because they don't want everybody to be on their paradise, only Jehovah's Witnesses. I have always lived my life with all this in view, and have never sought a worldly secular career or pathway. Becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses was the obvious next step for me. This letter is being written by me with no outside influences, because there are things I want to say to you. I'm going to call bullshit in that letter as well, because you keep referencing God, Jehovah, and you keep referencing the Watchtower Society. Although you don't say Watchtower Society in this letter, you know damn well that you're referencing Watchtower Society, and you're referencing other influences in the letter. Being in the truth had never been easy, but when all is said and done, I am in it because of my belief in Jehovah, and what he has done for us and will yet do. People will always let you down, and somehow we have to look above and beyond at the bigger picture. So to say that the same people who profess to be Christians live in ways that show them to be hypocrites is no exaggeration. That is probably the only quote in that letter that actually makes sense, because you can't always rely on people. There will be people that let you down, and there are a lot of Christians that are hypocrites. That is all very true, but with every couple good quotes that people like this make, there are 20 other bad ones and other poor ones that they make in justifying their beliefs and justifying their reasons of disowning people for having different beliefs. But I strongly feel that whilst they may fool themselves and others, they can't fool Jehovah, and it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. I have chosen my path and my way of life, and so I must live by the commands and statutes laid down in the Bible by Jehovah himself. It is a man-made book. It was not written by God. One of these commands has been the cause of great stress and grief to me, and I have put it off for far too long now. I realized that I would have benefited spiritually by doing things Jehovah's way from the start. And I must emphasize that what I am about to say to you is not influenced by any other living person, but is purely directed by my conscience and a desire to regain my peaceful friendship with God. Nobody can make me do anything I don't want to. No other outside influences. Are you sure the Watchtower Society is not an outside influence, ma'am? Because they're the ones preaching about Jehovah and claiming to know all of Jehovah's wants and needs and all that shit, and their interpretation of the Bible that they claim is true. Whilst this is the single most painful thing I have ever had to do in my entire life, I need to move forward towards the goal of everlasting life. And to this end, I deeply regret that I must terminate our relationship whilst you remain disfellowshipped. I have cried myself dry over this situation. It has broken my heart. But David, you have known that it should have been handled this way from the start. You have chosen your path in life, and I wish you all the best. I want you to know that not only will my love always be there for you, but Jehovah, too, is waiting with open arms for your return. Your loving mother, now and forever. You have a lot of nerve manipulating the situation and acting like you're this caring fucking person that is putting out the tough love card on your kid. This is not a case where a parent needs to disown their kid for tough love reasons. Your kid wasn't being lazy as far as the situation calls. He just has a different belief. And you're gonna disown him for that. It's just like when I talked about that father disowning his son for being a homosexual when he wrote his fucking letter. What is up with parents like that? I understand that the parents want the best for their kids and that they don't want them to be corrupted and everything. But you gotta let your kids make mistakes in life. You gotta let your kids develop their own character. You can't expect your kids to always believe every single fucking thing that you do. If everybody believed the same thing, this world would be a gray, boring place. And what is up with people like this that just want to disassociate themselves from other people for the sheer fact that they are of a different religion, of a different creed, of a different race, of a different gender? Seriously. These parents have a lot of nerve acting like that they're so loving towards their kids, but the very moment that the child shows a slight bit of difference, a slight bit of intelligence, a slight bit of questioning, they totally disown them. And it's bad enough that there are people in society that condemn people for being of a different religious belief, political affiliation, skin color, gender, so on and so forth. It's bad enough that we have countries like China that force you to get abortions, and I know this is for population control since they're the most populated country in the world, but fuck it. You shouldn't be forced to have an abortion if you don't fucking want to. It's the very fact that they force the abortion on you, in some cases, if you don't want to get an abortion and suffer fines, suffer jail time, have your child taken away from you, put in orphanages, and all that other fucking shit. It's just amazing that there are people like this in this world. Now, that's all I have for this video, you guys. This article gave me a giant headache to read, as well as it was a pain in the ass to make this video. And before I go, I want to get Muggy out here to throw in his 2 cents. Now, Jehovah's Witness parents, and parents of other beliefs, take good note of what Muggy has to say here. Look at those big, black, bold letters. Shut the fuck up, get your heads out of your goddamn asses, and stop disowning and shunning your children and your friends and other people in your lives for having different beliefs and having a brain and questioning. It is bad enough that your children try to gain your approval all of their lives, but you make them even more miserable with themselves by shunning them away, by disowning them for simply questioning their beliefs, to straight up shunning their beliefs while still loving you, but having a different belief system, having a brain of their own and questioning things. It is bad enough that they have to go through that, but the very fact that you try to come off all lovey-dovey and you act like you still love them, but you tell them that this is a tough love case is fucking deplorable. This is not a case where you need to show tough love. Tough love is when your child is being so goddamn lazy and leeching off you without any attempts of doing anything for the family. Tough love would be getting your 40-year-old fat fuck son or daughter that is doing absolutely nothing with their lives, that is leeching off of you, that could do something, but they just want to be fucking lazy all their lives. You kicking them out and telling them to make something of themselves. That's tough love right there. Kicking them out of your household, disassociating yourself with them for having a different belief, is not a case of tough love at all. That's a case of you guys being fucking assholes. Now, let's get Muggy out here for the cheers. Come up with your own shut the fuck up line, and cheers, motherfuckers. Today's Thirst Quencher is brought to you by Monster Cuba Lima. It is fucking awesome. That's all I gotta say about that. Now, be sure to check out the other official GATG merchandise that is on Spreadshirt now, such as official GATG mugs, shirts, iPhone cases, and so on and so forth. Now, stay tuned for more videos. Take care, see you later. Cueing epic outro music now.